What is the psychology of billionaires like Elon Musk that they're so successful and make so much money? I've been studying psychology and success for 30 years. I'm a double certified coach, double certified hypnotherapist. I've studied NLP and I've taken hundreds of courses over 30 years. So when I look at billionaires like Elon Musk, this is how I analyze their psychology. And two really clear patterns emerge. In Elon Musk's case, he was following these clear patterns right up into 2024, and he amassed a massive amount of wealth and success. But since 2024, he stopped doing it. And you can see that Tesla has really taken a whole lot of hits in the press, and Elon Musk himself has even really become somewhat of a pariah in a lot of circles where he was once just thought of as a hero. So since 2024, he's moved out of tech and over into politics and social commentary and the culture wars. And what happened with that is that he really left behind his area of expertise and moved into an area that I think constitutes part of his personal shadow, in my personal opinion. So what's the psychological pattern that he was doing that was so successful, and now that he seems to have abandoned in favor of sort of a little bit of drama and trauma out in the world? So there are two things. First is singularity of focus. What we find is that extremely successful people are able to focus on just the one thing they want to accomplish, brush everything else aside, and just focus on that. In fact, one of the things that Elon Musk talks about is first principles, which is to say, strip away everything else you already know and you believe about a particular thing, like rocketry, for example. And let's just start with the basic fundamentals at the root of what is rocketry and how does it work. And because of that, he reinvented rocketry, literally reinvented it, and was wildly successful. And when SpaceX goes public, he might even become a trillionaire. Who knows? Now, in contrast to that, he made a huge shift into the political and social realm and became some sort of a character rather than an icon. So he moved from an icon in the milieu of tech and business where people were like, wow, this guy is like, he's like Iron Man. He's just doing all these amazingly great things. And then turned around and suddenly there were all these things in his personal life and his family and social issues and complaining about LGBTQ and all these other things. And he charged off in this other direction and he lost his focus on his business and technology. And it's obvious in the public realm. The public knows it. The buying patterns of Tesla are different. The way he's being treated by the media is different. And I think in the minds of people who revered him as like almost this demigod of technology and focus and science have now thought of him as someone completely different. And that's quite a shame. So the second psychological pattern that made him so strong and powerful and wealthy and successful was eliminating distractions, right? Getting rid of all the distractions in life and really just going bang on the one thing that you want to do and achieve. And if you have tons of distractions, then what happens is it's sort of like, how many things can you plug into a battery before the battery drains completely? If you have too many distractions, psychologically what happens is you're minimizing your capacity to focus and you're minimizing your success, right? Think of it as Gulliver's Travels, where Gulliver's lying on his back and all these Lilliputians have all these strings and ropes tying him down. Each one is a new distraction, right? Each thing is a new distraction. Or think of that as a weight in the gym. If you're trying to bench press 200 pounds and someone keeps adding 5 pounds every few minutes with a new distraction, the bar's going to end up on your chest and maybe crush you, right? Because it'll be just too much. And so in this case, the psychology of success shows us that these two things, singularity of focus and elimination of distractions, are kind of a yin yang. They work perfectly together. And when one gets very out of sync, it's going to break the other. And so what we saw was he bought Twitter. He got rebranded it as X as a cool culture thing. He actually changed the algorithms to prefer different content. And then he started the Doge piece with the government, stealing all this data out of the government, draining it out of there, which is probably unconstitutional and illegal. We'll find out about that later. But fundamentally, he did all these things that were injecting himself out of his space of deep expertise and into all these other issues as though he's some sort of God king that gets to dictate everything, right? I mean, that's the thing that people were saying. And so what we're seeing with the psychology of success is if you stay on track, if you keep focused, if you eliminate the distractions, and you keep doing that, your success will continue. And we've done this with hypnotherapy many, many times. Help people increase their focus, help them remove the distractions, put the phone away, right? Don't read too much of the news and the media, whatever that issue is for you. Just eliminate the distractions, focus on the thing that you really want to accomplish. And what happens is, over time, you're going to radically increase. Your psychology of success will improve and refine and strengthen like a muscle in the gym. Sad to see Elon Musk and what he's done. I think it will not play out well for him. However, he's a very lucky person that he had so much singularity of focus, so much elimination of distractions, that the psychology of success that he mastered for 20 years will continue to pay off in the companies that he built. He may not be the CEO of them in a few years. They may kick him out for many reasons, including some of the ones we talked about today. But he built so much strength and power in those areas, in those businesses, that they will continue to make him rich. However, most likely he will not continue to be popular. So if you want to improve your personal psychology of success, if you want to become more successful, make more money, adopt the mindset of billionaires and multimillionaires, you're going to adopt that singularity of focus and that elimination of distractions. You can do that today. Sit down, write down the things that are most important to you. Pick the one or two things that you absolutely want to focus on, like your family or your business or whatever it is for you, your health, or something else. Focus on just those things. Eliminate the distractions. And it's all going to start with the ability for you to understand that you can change your mind, and that will change your life. Down below, you'll see in the show notes and the link there, I've got for you a 2-page guide on how to change your mind so you can change your life. Grab that today, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.